Hello, welcome guys to this week's Pick a card reading. If you would like to take a look at the current energies around the collective to individual current feelings around you. I feel like that was a lot of words, but here we are nonetheless. So if we're looking at number one, number two, number three, I'm going to call them containers this week. They feel like containers, and we're going to open them up. We're going to take a look. So your scroll that is stepping forward, you know the drill. If any of the shapes or symbols are speaking to which direction or order that you step into them or return to at a different day. And your dream archetype card that came through has artistry on it as well. So by all means, take that in. We'll dive in deeper. Number two container. Here's the ink. Digging it, loving it. And your dream psychology card as well. There it is. And then numero tres, number three. And the dream psychology card. There it is. All right. I look forward to seeing you at your choice chosen. And thank you for sharing, and subscribing. Let's go. All right. Number one, container number one. Let's take a really good look. If you do take a screenshot so you can scry in your own time, personal use only. The letter P might be significant to you. Number 15 as well. I'm seeing cheerleaders here. Rah, rah, sis, boom, bah. Also like feather fan dusters. And this feels like a gentle way of maybe some sort of frequency upgrade that you're doing. Clearing out a frequency like CLR for the pipes, whether it's emotional, mental, whatever the case is. We'll wander through, we'll add on some cards to get more clarity. And then it's also coming into something about your craft, whatever that craft may be. It doesn't have to be creative or even paranormal or supernatural. Maybe you're an accountant, maybe you build, you're a carpenter, whatever the case is, but your craft. And I'm getting the sensation it's like light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board. There is something that it's almost like it's just going to lift off, but like in this, if you think of like a feather falling, it's falling from above so below, and we can see that, feel the flow, but this is floating up. So whatever you're doing, I feel like it's going up. It's a rising. It's a rising. So now you might be arising, stepping into a certain frequency, state, vibration, and it's going to feel light. And if you've been going through hard times, heart space, mental landscape, there's something else that just stepped forward and it fleeted me really, really quickly. I'll let it be. I want you to know that you've been protected this entire time. And I think that you know that. And in those moments, it's okay to just know that, but still feel the feels. There's been some grin and bear it moments I'm hearing. You've had to keep your mouth closed for one reason or another, or you've saved face. There's all these examples flooding through. It's kind of like there's no more emotion associated with that that's driving it, light as a feather, stiff as a board. And you might do something in your craft that it's working towards this promotion, personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic, whatever the case is. Even just to be in your own flow, clearing out the pipes of the throat and speaking, talking through the hardnesses, right? And not to stay, even my throat, right? And to stay in those spaces, but also not to shame ourselves or going, I can't believe I stayed there so long, or okay. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. There are aspects, it's almost like if I could take, in at least in the tarot, let's say, the pentacles, your cups, your swords, your wands, and they're all on board. So while maybe you've been reeling with reflections of the past for in the present, I don't see them, or at least they're going to be transmuted differently for the future. I hope I'm explaining this well. It's like whatever happened or that you went through, and some sort of encasing created conditions for you to break through. And what the result is in this lightness of rising up to be received, to give, to receive, whatever the cycle is of the thing, you like on face value, it's like we might not recognize this for that. You're like, how did this come from that? But you're that like alchemist of sorts, at least how I'm feeling right here. And so sometimes we've been protecting ourselves, and maybe that's why you've saved face or you didn't say something. This is about having high standards, but not hiding behind them either. And maybe you've had to do that. You've been hurt, disappointed, the promotions, the wants, the this, that, or the other. But somehow in this space, all I keep wanting to say is, and you rise. And all of the elements, the tools, the things are here with you. There is one specific either shadow aspect or guide that I feel very pointy, guide that you're working with. And it's almost like you might see them out of the corner of your eye. Is this in a haunting way or a helpful way? I'm not sure. We'll dive in. But how I'm actually going to relate to this is seeing it in this tree, in this card, in this dream psychology card. And I'm going to look this card up. So the way this deck works is whatever stands out for you, but I'm going to just grab the card and speak to what stands out to me. So 54, suffering, interesting, because there has been this hurting, this hardness that's been here, but something's it's lighting up, it's lightening up. You have transmuted the sacrifice of self, someone else, whatever the case is. Please receive or release freely and apply it where it fits for you. But this is the symbolic story that's coming through in message that has deep meaning. And it's like been carrying a full-grown tree or a house on your back. And over the course, it now turns into a little bag of ashes. It's like kind of like your fairy dust, because I don't know, or at least I will tell you in this moment, there may be a time, even a version of you would say, or will be saying soon, like beyond my belief. I wouldn't have believed, beyond my wildest dreams. You know, when people say that, they're like, I wanted it and this, that, or the other, but I wasn't sure if it was going to happen for me. But you were the happening. You are the happening. And it was happening. Okay. Cheerleaders back in play. All right. Suffering. I really need some goggles here. Can we get some goggles going? The seeker is tied to a tree by leather thongs through the chest skin. Fears, pain, alienated. And I feel like we've kind of stepped into the space. Also, not sure if it's only specific to, but amongst others, natural, even organics. Salt ring. Salt. Something very protective is here. Also, do things to protect yourself. Like, absolutely, do those things. Suffering is resistance to the life force. What wants to come through is thwarted by our choices and attitudes. The best cure for suffering is to allow the intense energy to crack open resistances to reality. Resisting pain makes it worse. Use it to teach you what pleasure never could. Let go of the energy of challenge. Stay present, process, and let tension purge you, causing breakthroughs to a new life in consciousness. Your challenge, should you choose to accept, is to give up attachments to yourself which make you defensive and resistance to life challenges causing pain. In some way, shape, or form, you've met challenges with grace, with scars maybe. Maybe you've done so grin and bear it, a smile on your face. But your trust went deeper and beyond what may be. on the surface. And this is your reminder. Spirit, your higher self, your spirit guides, your spirit team. There's this shadow aspect that is like drawing, not taking or stealing any sort of life force from you. But if you can apply those to any other people, places, or things, we too are attached, hooked by the heartstrings, hooked right in. Ah, such suffering. And what if in this moment, I understand it's heartbreak. I understand what could be trapped in the stress of the shoulders of carrying the weight of the world. This is deep stuff here. And the current feelings, if you're here in this container, it's kind of like opening up this container that has had a lot. And I don't want to make that more. I don't want to be attached to the allotness. I don't want to necessarily, I don't know, whatever this is, admire said suffering so that you incur more as a cycle to create from. And this isn't about running away from any challenges of things that are sufferable or hurt our feelings. This is, I think you're changing the way when you meet them now, you can see it for what it is. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as, I don't know why, but it keeps coming through. And it almost kind of feels like I'm breathing through that. Even if there's like something you say, like, before I react or before I revert, big inhale, exhale. It's almost like salting your aura, maybe your bubble, your whatever you may do, call in, remove out, and say, no, I'm going to come back to this. I'd like to take a moment. I'm going to freak out. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm very, very hurt. Or I'm whatever the case is, or I'm very excited. But can I take a moment? I'm going to take a moment to meet with your spirit team, check in with your support person, maybe have a therapist or a spouse or a friend. And not that it needs to be codependent externally, but it's like as an extension of the self to sit in that center and say, okay, I do not need to fall into the traps where it'd be of more benefit for you to revert. Rise up. It's almost like in a creepy vampire way. And if you watch The House of Scrying, my other channel, then you totally know we love you some spooky and some haunty. It's like watching that vampire like slowly rise up. Some have, jump out scares. What do they say nowadays? Like going viral or this, that, or the other. Sometimes it's ever so sweet to rise up ever so slowly. Take a look around. It's like, do you ever remember when you were a kid, like when your mom got mad, but really mad? And it just like she went silent. She's like, not that it has to be in anger, but there's something about the hurt unleashing this and saying, okay, almost like a diffuser of this, and it changing forms from water to mist. I don't know. It makes very much so sense to me, but I hope I'm doing you some justice as well. So once the repair is in place, and however in whatever channel this is in, this container looks up. Almost actually, I can see like a castle here, like to your happy place. Maybe you even tap in there, you knock on your door. But the strength that you have. Do you know what I also want to say in a weird way? It's like healing hands that have been hurt, whether in front of your heart, Maybe you heal with hands, the energy exchanges of hands, and in whatever modality culture that may seem fit for you, the way you move with your environment and the people around you. Maybe you talk with your hands, you accentuate, or you've just been sitting on your hands. And I want to lift you while in your circle. This is almost like a significant cleansing. Yeah, I can see you down there. Might have been worried for a while, worried it wasn't going to work out for me, worried was my choice the right choice? Well, you chose it. So of course it's right. Now, what the experience of that is the adventure. But it's almost like there's a strength sickness here, like this purge of almost like, it seems like a paradox, but it kind of feels more paranoia. So I'm going to look into that image down there. Repressions releasing. The seeker throws up into the toilet. Go with the energy, not against it. Release your suffering. I'm also being drawn up into this corner. I'm not really sure what that is. It's not the clown, but nonetheless, afflictions and prayers. Something about the altar. Maybe this is a marriage that went awry. You may also be considering starting an altar of some sort. If it falls in line, if there are words in your religion, your faith, your spirituality, modality, insert Mad Lib style, whatever would be over altar. Or even just a moment where you sit in your salty circle and you envision it and you use that salt to cleanse and to purify, being salt of the earth. I want to acknowledge your healing hands and heart and head, heart, hands, and head are being felt. In the cave of ice, we have here vast vistas 43, nomad steppes of Mongolia. You are stepping out into bigger spaces. Light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as, and I love that the sky is there. Do so with grace. This isn't a performance. That's how I'm hearing. This is not a performance. And what came out with it off to the side here is love with the Taj Mahal in India. This is self-love, self-respect, self-care, and all of those cheesy words that we can say. But what does that look like? For some, that's sitting and spending time. Maybe you go to a salt cave. I love me a good salt cave. Maybe you're cleaning your house. Maybe you're cleaning your car. Maybe the shift of the seasons helps bring about a collective sunshine shift of sorts from a winter season to a summer, or to the deserty, hot, humid, very extreme seasons, and relishing in between the springs and the autumns. And I'm going to say for one moment what seems to be de-thawing here is remembering I'm loved. And how there, it's like the sky. There's no bounds to that. This is unconditional. I gotta hydrate the human. Hold on. Oh, I left my ceiling fan on and I can see it. Brr. That bothers me. Get all hypnosy. Interesting though, as I saw that and I did that, and then I'm in this love card and I'm seeing the reflection. It's like looking in the reflection pool. These eyes look up and it's happening all around you. Rise up, rise up. Maybe you're looking for love. Maybe the current feelings are, I'm ready for love. I'm ready to open my mind and my heart to meeting someone. Love it. Love it. I'm going to give this a flip while we're here. See if anything else stands out. Can I actually do that? Thank you. Something about the corners of the mouth. You have the face of spirit. Like your higher self. I can see your higher self in your face, in your features, Cave of Winds, stability 36, the baobab tree in Africa. This is stabilizing this infusion that I'm sensing. See, and they're all gathered around here at the base of the tree. I also want to note that for some, if this message is for one, thank you for holding space, or apply it into a context that makes sense. See with this Mongolia here, and I'm going to call it an eagle. I'm not sure what kind of bird it is. You've had to, from the group, whatever your group or tribe might be, family unit, job, career, relationship, and you left, or you've decided to leave something. Now you can land into black sheep of that. You've decided to change companies, change positions, whatever the case is, because it's the best for your path. You've made that choice. But you took your higher self with you. These two are here as one, because you always have a perspective. You always have your higher self perspective with you. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. It's like the higher self is light as a feather, the stiff as a board is the human. And somehow, in some way, in this moment that you're here with me, and I'm seeing it infused into one. And dude, so proud of you. So proud of you. It's like stopping the cycles of abuse. It's easy. I'm not, in general, I'm not trying to be insensitive. It's easy to be, or maybe it's unseen, or it seems more natural. Bad things happen to us, and then it's like parents to their kids, and then their kids become parents and do it to their kids. It's like, but they're aware, like, I never want to be like my mom or my dad or whoever it was, and I never, but they do. So you've changed your focus. You're like, hold on a minute, it's not, well, the acknowledgement is of, I do not want to be like that. Okay, there's the choice, but the focus is, what do I want to be like? What would I like for it to look like and feel like? And that's what breaks the cycle. Because you may be tempted at some point in times, or tried and tested to return to that cycle, to be like, look, well, it's natural though. It's part of you. She feels shame for this, or guilt. And you're like, no, I see you. And it may not be the easiest or hardest or whatever. I see you. I shall not shame that part of me, but I will be the one to transform it from what was this in my present moment of this. And in the future, my generations won't have that to deal with. My children and children's children's, as the example, or your incarnations from here on in, won't be dealing with this. So yes, I am strong, but it's not going to make me sick. It's almost like, because I'm sick and tired of that. So there's some sort of mental stability here that's just, yes, yes. Cave of Hearth Fires, 5, breakthrough, the moon landing, reach out and touch faith, whatever that means for you. And look at the coloring of, even in this card, in the dream psychology card, and this astronauty person. Feather and board. Well, it made sense in the moment that I saw it. I am seeing some ancient tools here. Interesting, because you either are, hold on, let me get my face together. Okay, so that's how I'm going to say this. It's something very, from speaking from an elemental space like earth and space. And you kind of have this ancient astronaut feel about you. And it's like this, maybe this family line or this experience expression has called in you as like, okay, we're calling in the ancient ancestors to interrupt this lineage, this cycle, this whatever the case is. Or you are asking and calling, connecting to the security, the sanctity. I just heard, if that means anything. It says, I'm calling in the ancient ancestor here or ancient astronaut to assist this. Because asking for help doesn't make you weak, it's what's wise. And what's even wiser is who you're asking and what you do with it. Yeah, love it. Love it. Breakthrough of the heart, mind, and hands. You might have been fighting, fist, gritting teeth, and just, it's like I'm seeing these hands down here, and they're bandaged like fighters do. And maybe you're very skilled in that. That's what you've done to protect yourself as a skill set. But you don't go around. It's amazing that you have that. We just don't go around randomly fighting things. It's a skill set. Those are like the calmest people usually because they know it's there. They don't prove anything. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you're healing from burns, people's like, burn. Your burns bring you breakthroughs, but that doesn't mean we want to keep the cycle of having or needing burns and suffering to have the breakthroughs. That's what's changing. Yes, these ancient tools, the ancient ancestors. Yeah. In the Cave of Rivers is 3, Adventure, the Silk Road, Inner Mongolia. Interesting. We have Mongolia here in 2 different forms, 2 different landscapes. Big skies. I gotta go back into the scroll for a moment because it's almost like I've got something in my teeth where I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this stuff. I'm not sure. Okay, so they're clapping. They're like, feel this, follow this. And it's like if we're like, oh, I'm not sure, I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. It's like, okay. And for whatever reason, they've just got this clap. Maybe it's a drumming, but they're creating a pace. And now my thoughts, my worries are like, okay, okay. And it's like, oh, and it's like it starts to align with that rhythm. And then I breathe, light as a feather. And I'm like, and before I even know it, within 30 seconds, whatever it is for you, if it takes 5 minutes, it takes 5 minutes. If it takes you a 20-minute meditation, yoga practice, going for a bike ride, sweating it out in the sauna, whatever it is. And you're like, okay, okay. This is an adventure, an experience. And you have this ability to regulate. Or maybe regulating is something more focusy for you right now. I got a note up here. I'm seeing Wolverine kind of like, whoosh, and I feel like this is taking charge. Like superheroes like come out of nowhere. Yeah. Hmm. Also, in this 3 card, 3 might be significant to you in the Cave of Rivers of the Emotion. Interesting that it's a desert. Hmm. Okay. So remember when we were talking about, yeah, the salt thing, the cycle breaker. You're actually not following this track anymore. It's because you're going to be creating another one. You are the beginning of this landscape and this life of the choices, the conditions, the people, places, or things brought you to this point. But beyond this, you are the creator of the emotional attachments that will be curated and aligned. The influences are specific and quality, Silk Road quality. That's not poo-pooing anyone else. That's not insulting anyone else or what you've been through, or those people or those archetypes of personalities. This isn't, this is the, what's that? The inner standing. Is that what folks call it? The inner standing? Cave of Earth, Exuberance, card 12, Cycle, Calendar Complete, the Roaring Twenties in Paris. It's just exciting, no? Yeah, courage is on the bottom. Of course there's courage. Vikings in the New World. This is your new world, and it starts with the Silk Road, which is so light, like a feather. And maybe the stiff board is really gold. Allow it to be drawn out if we have an attachment to some suffering. And please note when I'm saying this, if it's grief and there's acute heartbreak and help, seek help as well. Be wise and then work that wisdom to your advantage. Work it. Work it. The wisest will seek support. Notably who that support is from or what that support is from. Because being the what do they call it, chain breaker of sorts, it's like you're going off track starts a new track, and this is a breakthrough for your line and lineage as an ancient alien of sorts or ancient astronaut. So there may not be a whole lot of trailblazers for you to talk to or connect to. Maybe go farther back in history. Maybe you are the seed that is starting this baobab tree for the future. And your kids or your future concepts and constructs, what you've shared, they won't deal with that. If you're working in an office and you set up a filing system, they won't have to go through the archives and digitize everything because you've done that for them. You've set them up for that, and they will never know that, but they will be able to use that as room to breathe something new and not constantly be drawn back to blame. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. This breaker of change, but it feels like just, you make me feel like dancing. Yes, it takes courage, but you got a whole team around you that is supporting this, and a lot of different characters that you can call upon, symbolically speaking, and synchronicities, spirit animals, spirit teams, etc. Just waiting for you to call. But how they show up is their expression and their experience. All right, I love you. I will see you next Saturday if you are joining us weekly. Otherwise, if you're looking for content in between, you can check out in the description box House of Scrying. And everything else is down there as well. So thank you so much. Bye. Number 2, container number 2. Take a look and hydrate. Hydrate the human. Take it in. If you see, sense, or feel anything, feel well to comment below. As your insights, we all become the oracle readers, seers, nurturing our interconnected nature. As well, the dream of, I can't remember what this deck's called, but something about dreams and psychology, or the psychology of dreams. If anything is standing out to you, take that in to add, and we'll read more into it as it steps forward. But let's go. Zorro, let's go. This container, I feel happy. It's like watching the Three Amigos or the Three Musketeers, like the old one, like the funny comedian guys, and they're having a hoot. It feels like a hoot. And yeah, Zorro also might mean something to you. I'm seeing chestnuts, seeing porcupines, but these porcupines have friends. It's like porcupines pairing up, finding another porcupine. I don't know how common or uncommon that is, but I feel like porcupines are pairing up, and that's really nice. Something about whipping something into shape. Maybe you're whipping yourself into shape, if that's emotionally, mentally, physically, etc. So a lot of different realms of that. Something about is it? Did I say chestnuts before? Maybe it's hazelnuts. There's another kind of nut here. Walnut? No, I can't remember now. There is a change in the air. Something about, what do I say? It's a smile. It's a smile. This container is like, say cheese. It's showtime. Right. And while, it might have like this, it almost like might take people back a moment or be like, well, who is this version of you? Or whatever the case is. But I feel like, if I may, I'm kind of looking in the mirror, and it's like getting a new job and putting on a uniform or get a fresh uniform. And, we can all feel a way about uniforms. And yeah, I get that, to some degree. But also, like it's just so easy, right? To be like, yeah, you can slip into the skin and be like, you can get into character. It's like being an actor and whatever the case is. Or if you're a mechanic and you put on your jumpsuit and you're like, I'm in it now. Putting on a dress and you're like, okay, I'm in it. This is what it feels like. Like anything can really be of uniform, and it's not necessarily about conformity. This feels like you, and looking in the mirror and maybe trying on. It's like if you normally wear one kind of pattern and you wear a different one, you're like, yeah, I'm open to this. I'm open to this. I love it. I just want to note as well that I saw as I was opening this container for number two, I don't know if they still make them, but it's like those containers where it would say like salted peanuts, but really like the snake comes flying out. Again, it's like this, not scary, but it's kind of silly. And I feel like you're coming out, or in some way, shape, or form, you're like, and I'm here, even if it's to yourself. Literally, let's just say, I, you, me, looking in the mirror and going, yeah, love it. Love the meat suit, love the mindset, love the heart space, aging, whatever, the body might be aging, but your energy is Benjamin, is it Benjamin Buttons, becoming more youthful because of what you know and what you spend time thinking about, achieving goals, and you're like, wow, I'm getting older and younger all at the same time. And you get a new haircut. I don't know, it all feels great. Like, I don't know, I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. Card 24 is stepping forward. I'm just going to add this on, take a look what the dream psychology card has to say about it. And yeah, we'll continue around the caves as well. Thank you if you haven't already liked, shared, or subscribed. Protecting, heroic. This is very heroic here. Yeah, like we're a total Zorro. Zorro's a hero, right? Well, in this moment, Zorro is. The mother leaps from the chasm, holding her child, defending, stabilizing, security. To protect is to preserve our essential nature against what would destroy it. What is in need of protection? It is one thing to expand and lead a full life, and another to contract and preserve what might be lost. When is it time to protect and when to risk? Certain values and gifts need to be nurtured into full being. Security may be the most important value, especially at the beginning. Your task, should you choose to accept, is to be aware of present danger and do nothing rash, building a safe haven for who or what needs protecting. And I'm going to dive into a few other images here in a moment, but this feels like this is either something you've done in one aspect and are expanding out to another. And you're like, okay, It's like having the fine china and never using it, and then it breaks and you never get to use it. Now, you do what you're going to do. I'm not, there's different value systems. And I think that's kind of where it's led me to. There's different value systems. But you really do get to choose what its value is to you. Also, picking and choosing, I'm assuming, with any sort of superhero version of us inside, that's like kind of like the hard choice. You can't go around saving everyone and everything if it is external to you, but you can choose. And also know that there are others out there that they are picking and choosing. And lo and behold, in different ways and different forms, everything is being taken care of per its story and expression, etc. So you are doing a fine job, a fine, fine job. Do you need to hear that? I will say it to you because I understand this yellow umbrella is standing out. You have done and are capable of preserving, like even in our container here of number 2 that we've chosen for these current feelings, it's like people who can preserve fruits and peaches. I'm seeing my grandmother, my girlfriend April out there, like they know how to preserve jams, they know how to transform vegetables into sauces and then preserve it. What a skill. What a skill that preserves the fruit, but they don't hold in this space of non-saying. They don't preserve the skill of how to preserve. They share that knowledge, that knowing. They share that with others that maybe show interest, whatever those determinations are for you. I'm not saying entertain everyone in anything that comes forward to you. But the point is like with the people around me, if I showed interest and to some degree dedication for a time or an agreed upon amount of time to learn how to do this, to preserve, then I would be able to preserve as well. But I don't just inherently am not entitled to their preserves. And have people been entitled to your reserves? Have you been reserving yourself in some way, shape, or form? It's all very curious how this is leading me to opening this up and enjoying the canned peaches. And yes, you are responsible. You know there are some that are waiting for that rainy day. Amazing. You cycle through your preservatives so that the dates, are correct in the way that you're going to the ecosystem of this. There's one can of peaches that you're opening up and enjoying now. You're looking in the mirror and enjoy it. Enjoy the skin changing. Enjoy your visions changing. What you want, what you protect, what you're preserving, and what you're pursuing is changing and does change. The yellow umbrella. Sorry, I got distracted. And now I got to find it. Oh, there it is. It's at the bottom. Anticipating and caring. The umbrella comes between me and the rain. Anticipation helps in dealing with life. Focus on immediate issues. This is getting to business. This is getting to business. Some of you also might be changing up your wardrobe. A piece or two. You're like, you know what? 3 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shorts, a dress or two, a few pairs of shoes, and off I go. I'm not saying you need to do that, but there's something about this. What's classic, what is colorful, maybe what's trendy, and I kind of maybe and what's comfy, and everything else can kind of just. And you get this new wardrobe, you get your hair blown out, new haircut. I'm not saying you need to change anything about yourself. What I'm saying is that I can see the change here. And if you choose to decorate that change externally, because in this inner standing, there's a lot relating to number 1. So if you are coming from 1, you'll probably already see it. But if you're not, you might want to, you don't have to. I'm just saying. But that's what it feels like. This inner standing. And I think a lot of the times you've had to do this for yourself. You've maybe been alone, solo, protect yourself, this, that, or the other. But you know what? You're kind of your own superhero. and a superhero is of service. And you may want an apprentice. Superheroes also need friends too. You know, superheroes also need friends too. And there's all these spirits in the sky. Also, if there are souls, if you are looking to create, bring life in, they're lining up because you create conditions that are conducive for them to have a great, successful experience. I have flipped it. You are climbing high the ladder of life. The garden is full over here. Ships are coming in. And yeah, I'm not going to lie. It kind of feels like you've had to crawl out of a hole. But you know what? It's like a crock pot. Do you want a microwave? Be a microwave food, or do you want to be a crock pot dinner? Crock pot dinner. All right. Cave of Ice. Also something about Jack, or the name Jack and Stephen. Three of Pentacles. See, strategies coming in here. Three of Pentacles. Follow what it might mean to you. I feel like there's words up there. A spellbinding tale of cooperation. This is like Batman, Robin, and the butler, right? Because the butler does all the things at the cave, working together. Team you. Three, you might as well be working with three spirit guides, gods, goddesses, deities, etc. You might also be blending three different concepts or modalities, like naturally. Like, I'm not saying maybe necessarily you're like speaking of that, but it's like maybe you are taking something. It's like being a mechanic who takes the scrap metal and becomes a sculptress or something like that. Maybe you're a massage therapist who also does Reiki, who also does hair. Maybe you're, you know what I mean? You get the gist. I don't need to carry on. Maybe you work in fast food, but you also have your own catering business, or you like to bake and you do baking as your catering business. And it's all building towards that. It's amazing. Strategy doesn't make it any less spiritual. Put that spirituality, whatever spirit this is, into strategy. Zorro, making magic happen. I don't know. I really got to watch Zorro. In the Cave of Winds is the world. So I'll come back to you in just a moment. I saw it. So again, I think it was over on the House of Scrying, but every so often, just silly things come out. It's like pick and flick. You know, it's like picking the world and just flicking. You know, there might be people around you, or energies, or things that you want that want to stay really relative to you, or that maybe you have been, I'm not saying could be guilty of, but maybe just something to ponder, that you want to stay relatable to. And your loyalties may be holding you back to that, because it's like, well, I want to relate to my friends or family, etc., as you are rising up into this superhero kind of position of oneself, vigilante. They may never know. Maybe you don't speak it to them for one reason, or you've learned to not speak of your successes. It's kind of like one of those things, like you know, sometimes when people are like, I can't speak of your successes, because then, you know, it's like they send you like bad juju, or maybe it's the evil eye, or they try to sabotage it, or incur self-doubt because your success makes them uncomfortable, because maybe it highlights for them what they're not doing. I don't know what we could get into the psychology of it, but that's also their psychology. But you've just learned to be like, zip it. So it's kind of like Batman or Zorro or any other place. You're just like, nobody knows who the real person is, and maybe this part of your identity isn't known. But here's the thing: there's always a space for this part of you to be known, and is taking the forefront. Maybe it's like you're coming out as a healer, and you're like, you know what? I help people heal. That's what I do. And yep. And the world is at your fingertips anyway. And I feel like whether you say it to someone else, or say it into the mirror, or I will be your mirror right now, and you can say it to me. I dot dot dot. And let it be said, let it be known to the spirits that you work with, that you're claiming it, putting on that uniform that you get to design. It's like being a singer, and you get your, you know, you don't need to worry that you're going to be on stage a million times, so you don't need to pick one thing forever. You're going to change. You're going to change outfits. People change at weddings. You have this one, that one. You have house clothes, work clothes, this clothes. It's great. Pick and flick. Don't worry about it. The world is your oyster. We'll say that. Justice coming through in the cave of hearth fires. What I love about this, especially coming on top of this woman here, I can't quite remember, protection. Preserving protection. If there's any sort of injustices that, from, and maybe it's a legality space here on earth, but if I may wander out to universal justice, it's going to be okay. Because your calling, not everyone is, at least in our symbolic story here, Batman, or I don't know why they kind of seem to come up a lot, and I can never seem to remember who they are. The Doctor Stranges, Ant-Man's, Spider-Man's. It's like, but again, Spider-Man I think changes the Superman's. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. The planet of sword and scales. Your inner compass, your value system, and how you relate by maybe you're raising your rates, maybe you are raising the bar of what friends mean and upholding them to that and speaking to that in the moment to be like, whoa. Because you're not going to resonate, you're not going to relate and resonate. When you rise up, you're just not going to relate to maybe where you came from, and there might be some things you're working through on that. I see you. But you don't set the bar low. You lifted the bar up for you. You did that. You're doing that. That's not to leave anyone behind. But I got to say here, somewhere along the line, somebody left you behind. And that makes you feel a way. Sure, it feels a frickin' way. But what did you do with it? You're like, oh, okay. I won't leave myself behind. I'm not going to look in the mirror and say, no, you don't get that. You're like, hold on a minute here. Let's get, bar lifting, raise the roof. The show Community is coming through. What? I can't remember his name, but that character. I don't even think that was him. Anyway, justice. This container of current feelings, I feel liberated. Cave of Rivers, I feel liberated from the Five of Cups. There's always more to the story. This is what I feel liberated from. You maybe have had to sacrifice some opportunities, people, places, or things, choices that you've made. Maybe if you've had children and you wanted to do this, that, or the other, but you needed to work to provide housing, food, etc., you've made your choices. And now they're grown or up on their, on their own, whatever the case is. And now it's, your turn. There's no guilt. There's not this beautiful. But coming into this Five of Cups, and it's going to wander right on over to the world of the five, with the world over there in the cave of winds of the mind. You might be accused of, well, who do you think you are? You came from this or what? Notice who or what is saying that, even if it's of yourself in the mirror. Who do you think you are? Who does he or she think they are? And they have feelings about that. So let's stay here for a moment because I'm liberated with you. Yeah, I'm tagging along. I'm like, yeah, Justice has been served, and not by any sort of podunk, whatever. This is universal justice saying, hold the phone here. This is served, but Zorro coming in, pouring in and out, brass knuckles down here as well. I am not, you are not anyone else's river to pollute, emotional river to pollute with their litter and loitering. You've been cleaning up your riverbed. You've been doing the things emotionally and mentally for your heart to feel full, ready, prepared, loved, on self-accordance. So yeah, you can release. You've changed with the Five of Cups. The Five has changed it, empowered it. It's okay to not relate to people that maybe you're related to. You're not going to relate to them anymore as you're being lifted up, because you've lifted yourself up. You can also receive help. Yes, we know you can do it on your own. We know. But you don't always have to go at it alone. Three of Pentacles. Whether that's your higher self, human self, and your heart self, or however you want to place it, put it upon it, spirit, soul, self, to you and two friends. You do not need to always do it alone. Anything else as we're coming into the Cave of Earth? The Hanged Man. Abused, scorned, and forsaken. Was he madman or prophet? Is Batman a madman, vigilante, or is he a savior? Is he a helper? Depends on the perspective. Star is on the bottom. The woman of the cosmos, a journey into the realms of fertility and intuition. There has been children here. Congratulations, if that is a focus for you. There's something within this space that's being regenerated within you, restored by care, with care. It feels like inner child, inner adolescent, even like inner young adult. And I will protect those parts, but I will not preserve them or hold them back from having their own experiences now from the point of view of the adult, of your wisdom of awareness right now. So there feels like the subtlety we've been preserving, protecting, and then pressing with pressure that there's no experience to be had. And I think there's a part of you that knows where that line is when you feel the pressure protecting and then also press down under the guise of, this is to protect you, this is the best for you. And you're like, oh, really? Or is it the best for you? And so you're listening to that. There's some form of enlightenment here. There's something about like cleaning the blood as well, cleaning the bloodline. I also feel like there's something that you are cutting yourself off of. And I do think it's from little pick and flicks, little boogers of beings in your reality, in your life, in your people, the company you keep. And just realizing that you're not going to relate to everybody. You don't need to relate to everybody or resonate with everybody to be of service. It's gorgeous. The star. Shine on. Shine on. It can feel a little grounding, I'm not going to lie, in this enlightenment here in the Pentacles in the Cave of Earth. But I do want to note there is a line here, and it does come into play. It's like, it feels like I'm receiving, like eating food, I'm receiving it and it goes in. The nutrients are received. Hope this makes sense somewhere. There are dragons and, yep, transformation here. Love it. A little bit of metamorphosis for you. Lighten your load. You don't need to carry the weight of the world. Absolutely not. The world, pick and flick. Make it smaller. It's like having all sorts of, sometimes people downsize their houses just because simply they're like, I don't want to have to clean this whole house or maintain it to keep the integrity of it. Let, a bigger family do it or somebody else that has staff. So I think that you're slicing and dicing. You might be getting down to some bare bones or have been bare bones. Maybe you've had nothing. You've come from nothing and you've made something of yourself as an example, and that's amazing. But we don't stay there with the nothings, because now this becomes the new starting point. And I kind of want to shine, I kind of want to highlight that. And I don't want to take away anyone's story, but I do want to acknowledge that it's like reading a book that has many volumes. And yes, that's where it started, but we're on volume 10. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You're pretty cool. Yeah, you've been through some stuff, but you listen. You listen to what people say and really mean. You listen to your spirit, your higher self. I just see up, up. So up and off you go. Thank you, number 2. This transformation is amazing. You are amazing. I will see you next Saturday for a weekly pick a card, or whenever you happen to receive this. And thank you so much. You can check out how subscribing. Everything's in the description box below if you would like content in between. And if not, until next time, so much love. Bye. Number 3, here is your portal to perceive and receive symbolic support for current feelings right now. You're welcome to comment below what you see, sense, or feel. So we all become the oracle reader seers, or let us know what you've chosen. And then your dream psychology card is this card number 49. If any of the artistry stands out, take a look, where we will read the meaning of it. But I'm going to step right in here because I have this great sensation. It's like the torchbearer kind of feel. And you're being guided, like marshaled in. My airport days are coming in. Marshalling in direction, like even a stewardess or airplane person. It's like the exits are over here. Do this, do that. You're being drawn towards torches, or maybe have been following a torch path for quite some time. And I say quite some time because I feel like it's kind of always been there within you. Maybe at some point in times, in different focuses, career changes, marriages, relationships, etc. It's, things might have been dimmer that, but it's always been there in some way, shape, or form. And it's here. It's here. It's kind of like it's coming in from 2, which is really lovely. It's kind of like the star of your own show, and you're seeing that. And you also see where there's been guidance where maybe you didn't think guidance was. It's almost like in the wildest of spaces, I would never have thought that would be there. And there it is. And I love it. The number 49 may mean something to you. Please follow that. Get the card number 49 out here. There is a safety net. I also want to note, I see a lot of people cheering for you. So congrats on that. Number 7 also might be significant to you. I think at some point in time, you might have canceled something out or been like, no, you made that decision at some point in time. And then you're either returning to it or it's been reinvigorated. Do I want to use that word? Maybe you've been invited somewhere or you saw something, did something. They're like, oh, sparked that inspiration. Yes. So change is in the air. Let's read this card. Change. The trapeze artist releases herself for the next contract or contact. Oh, for heaven's sake. Cause, contrast, newness. Are you ready? Because maybe as your masculine, there's a masculine back here, feminine here. As you're getting ready to drop, safety net. It's okay. We got you. We got you. There's also very old lampposts. I shouldn't say very old. Maybe there's just like replica old, like in a town or a village, or maybe the way your town sidewalks, they have their lampposts. Like they're very decorative. Because you've gone, go, and then you're gonna drop to be released into the safety net. And this other energy is gonna come through. And I love it. So let's get ready. Change is doing what is being Change is doing what is being done to us. We go from one thing to another. Why do people fear change and giving up what they have for what they do not have? Afraid that what they receive will be worse? We fear change because we identify with our present picture of ourselves and react against becoming something different. Resisting change makes change more extreme when it comes. We change by going with the energy, letting it consume old attitudes and self images. Your task, should you choose to accept, is to actively participate in the change process by making appropriate sacrifices and enhancing new possibilities. So here's okay, crisscross applesauce. It's almost like I made a promise to IUE me, to yourself, maybe to whomever, a relative, an ancestor. It's like, but if I let go, I may. Okay, so this is what I'm just heard right now. This message is just for one thing, you're holding space. If you let go and change, transform, allow new, however channel this might be for you, personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic. You can't be disappointing me when you've completed it. It was never meant, it's not meant to stay the same forever. So if there's someone, again, if this message is for me, I said, well, I made a promise to so and so that I will live a full life or whatever the case is. And maybe you're going through something right now. It's like, I don't want to break their promise, so I don't want to let go of this. But by letting go of that resistance to it needing to look a certain way, be a certain way, or that this promise is held in concrete in a form that maybe you made when you were 10, 20, 30, 40, yesterday. But really, all I'm hearing is if you let it go, that is fulfilling that promise, trusting and living in that state of trust that you are fulfilling. Some of you might have the pressure of a prophecy. Interesting. You might also be working with maybe Hekate. Somebody also might be a welder. And I feel like when I'm stepping into welding, whatever that might mean to you, follow that. I feel like I'm seeing through a different kind of lens. And I like, because I'm seeing like a big welder's mask and they have like, that window, security, precaution, but they don't stay there. They lift up the mask. No, I gotta hydrate the human again. Hold on. I'm also seeing the who's that singer girl? This is horrible, but I'm just thinking of my little sister because that's really how it came through. Is Hannah Montana. So whatever that girl's name is, I'm so sorry. But I think maybe in the spirit of Hannah Montana is, does she not play two different people, like her real life or family life and her, I don't know, famous life? Hmm. The Wrecking Ball song. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so the prophecy is more in relation to if you have the pressure of a prophecy or something about clearing up a paradox. I'm going to say this to you. It's all very poetic. Yeah, it's all very poetic. And that may just land into it's all very poetic. I don't know if it is actually a problem or not, but you might be stepping into a space of newness. And interesting, the 7 keeps stepping out to me. And the House of Scrying, if you check out the playlist the staircase or a staircase because we've gone through the numbers. 7 is most recently. It's standing out. There's also something about a furnace burning of like this fire. Hmm. So I'm driven down here. What you see is also what you don't see. Take a careful look at how you might be creating problems. There's something in that about like the at least the way I received it. Of course, receive, release freely. It's like the poetry of the paradox or the prophecy and the pressure of that. And it's all very poetic. I don't know that it's a problem. It might be given to you as a pressure, or maybe it's causing a problem to the pressure to fulfill something based on dot dot dot. Um, but I'm seeing it more as like poetry, and you either enjoy the poem or you don't. There's nothing to cure. You don't need to pick it apart. It flows. It's its own river. And any sort of poet or poetress that if you're, are picking apart their poem, they don't care. It is a poem. It is a river. It is the side of a mountain that has a million jagged edges and smooth edges. How you decide to walk or wade in the words of such, or wander the peaks and valleys, and how you digest it and reflect upon it and take any value or damn it, is of no concern to the source. But they definitely are grateful that you've explored said landscape and came to your own conclusion by experience and not by hearsay. You are the source. It is a courtesy. You might put yourself in situations as a torchbearer of sorts, or being supported by torchbearers. It's a Hekate. Maybe Hekate information is coming through. But you're not responsible for how it's received by every single soul who comes across your path, looks at you, thinks of you, etc. But it's like writing a book and you go to a book signing. You're conscious, you're there, you're connecting, you are. So you're there. And if they have words to say to you, they have words to say to you. You probably have security as well. But you might also have a million cheerleaders. Anyway, I don't know where I'm at in this, but the brilliance is I want to say, by letting go sometimes it's fulfilling the very thing we might feel pressure to be holding on to. My shoulders just relaxed as I said that. Thank you. Somebody also playing Wii or some sort of VR or video games that feels virtual reality. You might be checking that out. I'm seeing a grandfather. He's bald, or at least is majority bald with maybe some. He's thinner. I feel like I missed him. Yeah, I feel like I miss him. And I'm like, Grandpa, like I wish you were here to talk to me. I wish you were here just to help me make me feel better. Something along that lines. And I see it's gonna make me cry, but I see him smiling at me. He's like, I am here, I'm hearing you. So you can talk freely. Excuse me. And also maybe permission for some to feel freely. Seven of Swords coming in the Cave of Rivers. What does the card say? I can't even read that. Oh gosh. Oh, something about stealing something, weapons. But was it justice? I don't know. Anyway. Look at all those lights. I'm going to see those as lights, torches, bulbs. Do you know what? I'm going to wander down a rabbit hole here. Receive or release freely. Has somebody tried to weaponize the light within you? To almost like mock you by it? Maybe this is growing up, an adolescent thing or a child thing, maybe even as an adult thing. It's like, you're so imaginative. How could you ever feel that way? Or you're to this, you're to that. I don't know. Whatever the things are people would say to shun or harbor, take somebody else's light. because they admire it, but it feels threatening or whatever the case is. I don't know, whatever things are going on here. Because there's just so much illumination here that I think maybe you carry to some degree or another naturally, so it doesn't feel like a thing, but you've had to learn to actually be like, oh, this is a thing, and you got to protect that. And so you protect it. I also want to note that there's like this slight sensation that that's how we'll say that. Thank you. So this is not permission in any way to do anything. Of course, you know the drill. Okay, this is the best way I'm going to say it. Teen Bopper Steph and my maybe Teen Bopper sister as well. And it's like they've taken their sweater, or they've borrowed your sweater or shirt, and you go in, you're like, I'm taking this sweater back, it's mine. It's kind of like that taking back what's mine. Not in this greedy, selfish way, because I have a feeling there's been some like greedy, I'll say it, kind of gross energies that either you've been interacting with, or, maybe in the scope of a company or your business or people, places, or things, even online, right? There's greatness and then there's grossness. And I have a feeling that, but somewhere in whatever these current feelings are for you, there might be a hesitancy because it's like, oh, I'm a giver and I just know the takers can feel very overpowering. Or I don't realize it until it's too late. My sister took my sweater and then I go in storming and causing a ruckus in a scene. This is mine. Don't borrow it without asking. I don't know why that's relevant, but there it is. Something about that. It's kind of like taking back. There's a point of frustration, like when you feel you've been disrespected or you've put a boundary or a rule there and maybe been taken advantage of. And maybe likewise, we acknowledge where we have taken advantage of. We've pressed the boundaries of our parents growing up. We've pressed the boundaries of our bosses and so on and so forth. Or, we've pressed people away, see how far they'll go before they fight for us or say anything, and then we might resent them when they don't fight, and we're like, well, then we knew it. And do you see what I'm saying? Like the psyche of it. In this space, I feel like I'm kind of taking everything back and I'm saying, hold on. First and foremost, full accountability. Okay, let's start here. Let's start here. And like that trapeze, and we let go, and that's how we can start fulfilling. And there's this shift as well from this, that what might feel overwhelming turns into exciting. It's not overwhelm in a bad way. It's over wonderful. It's over wonderful. There are rocket ships here in very, very fun ways. I kind of also feel like these beings are, they feel like Mandalorians from the show Mandalorians, the ones with the jetpacky things on them. And they have this ability to, like, if I'm in here, i.e. me, and it's like imagine like if somebody's taking off like a wet swimsuit of some sort, or one of those suits, like scuba suits or wetsuits, and just like peeling it off you. Or like back in the 70s and 80s when you wear really tight jeans, you have to get your friend to pull your pants down like inch by inch, or put on new cowboy boots or something. There's this help that's here of like taking this suit off that in some way, shape, or form, I'm going to say feels like an emotional armor, but it's armor nonetheless. It's like wearing a steel armor to go down into the ocean to, battle emotional things would just sink you. Having the rubber suit is more suitable, but it's still a form of armor. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. The rocket ships are there. The rocket ships are here as well. You've also got this so they are significant. It reminds me of what I believe was in 2, like very Superman, Zorro, etc. There is a being here that feels very, very stern. It's almost as though it's my own security system or your own security system. I also feel like if you're here, you're doing a significant amount of shadow work. and or have done the shadow work, and it's ready to be integrated with your light. Please do not separate us. Yes, while the duality and the dance of such in the trapeze, maybe you've been in your head a lot. And okay, so can we drop something down? Accept the seed from your source, accept the seed from your higher self, your creator, whoever it is that you admire at the highest capacity, whoever, whatever concept, construct you have that has the most trust, respect, that you know that you will receive it in your communications, a loved one, whatever the case is. Yes. Mm. I just heard Bob's your uncle. In the cave of winds of the mind is justice, the planet of sword and scales, and it all comes into play. Imagine in this justice, somebody like threatening to come and cut off. I also feel like I'm in Indiana Jones. There's a lot of action. This scry, this whole pick a card has been very action packed. Yeah, action adventure. So fun. So I guess the current feelings are very action adventure. And you're like, go, 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 go. Very, very, very fun. I think that you're also aware, like we were just talking about in the Cave of Winds, of being up in the head a lot, and you're like, okay, there are some things that are existing in the mental atmosphere, and maybe you're just reading more. You know, something, it feels like something else comes in, and I just kind of like let go of, even if it's like self-saboteuring thoughts, you know, and even dare I say, I don't know how to say it in an overly kind way, but I think, you're an old soul, you're wise enough to know when even like visually online, there are some, I think, like, what is it, toxic positivity, or affirmations that just keep you looped. Now, I want to say as well, maybe in that moment, it's like taking an affirmation, accepting an affirmation, and also applying an action to it. That's more than mental. Like, that's the starting point. But I just also want to note, I think there's some things that you're like, hey, enough is enough. So I just heard as well, because I was back to the torchbearer to reminder of that, because I really have no idea where I'm at right now. And this is fantastic and I'm loving it. Because it just means there's more and more of this letting go, more and more space just to see beyond the scope of what we would normally do, what is comfortable for us and uncomfortable for us. Yes, I love that because change is in the air here. The current feeling is even maybe craving for change, reading a different kind of book from a different author, a different scope, changing your gas station that you normally go to. I don't know, but there's change, and it's incredible how one little change can feel very empowering. It's like, oh, I normally go to this grocery store. I'm going to try this one in the next town over. Just for fun, just to change things up. And lo and behold, they have your favorite salad dressing that you haven't been able to find. You know what I mean? Does it even matter if there's anything there? Man, you did it. And it's so simple. And somebody might be like, that is no big deal. How is that empowering? Because it's an action towards change. Roots have a place. Ruts have a place. We don't want to get stuck. Subtle changes can be great. Anyway, justice asserted. The Hierophant is coming in the cave of hearth fires. Oh yes, add attention. I also can't read that. Bringer of order and orthodoxy to the galaxy. You're taking charge. I currently feel that you're just taking charge. Do you know what's on the bottom here? Exiled is what's standing out. What's standing out though? It's the Eight of Swords. This, self-imprisonment of some sorts. Here's all those light things again. I don't know if something happened, but you know what? So I'm gonna say that. Hooray. because whatever was holding you back, maybe even helping to keep you isolated or separate from, uh, confident. Confidence isn't perfect. You took that back. Well, even whatever mental constructs, and yes, our heartstrings might have been tied to them, but the mind came in and said, hold on, hold on. We're going to peel you out of this wetsuit. And so while you might have been stuck at some place, change again is this current feeling where you might have been stuck or harbored. And then somebody took those all away while you were like unable to stop them. It's like, I'm tied up here. They're coming to take my lighty bulby things. There's nothing I can do about it. But it taught you something. And here's the interesting things. It's like when someone tries to teach you a lesson, and whether it takes a day, week, month, 10 years, 20 years, and you do something with that teaching, they're like, damn it. You get it all back. And you come at the highest order because you got nothing but source here. Even a shadow spirit guide. Somebody's mouth is closed. They won't be able to say anything to you that they may be able to speak freely, of course. Forgiveness, sure. But there's no action following up with that. That's your teaching. And what they do with that is up to them. I don't know why this feels very external, but nonetheless, here we are. So, highest order of your heart and mind. I'm very impressed, and I hope you're happy for a moment with me. Feel that. I'm going to feel it with you because I love it. And people can say, well, the Hierophant. In this moment, the Hierophant is happy, happy, happy because you have gotten your shit in order. It is your kingdom, your castle. You've let go, let in. The crowd cheers for you, and you cheer for the crowd. Cave of Rivers is the Wheel of Fortune. Like, could there be any better story here? Oh my goodness, I just love it. Where it stops, no one knows. People are like, oh my goodness, when is Stephanie going to stop talking? Nobody knows. When is your success going to stop your source? So if you are source, tick-tock time is not a thing for you. It's the experience of it, the knowledge, the teaching, the learning, the existing of it. And it's almost like it can be easy to get caught up in some things that are menial. But this higher perspective, whether it's your God, your source, your creator, your religion, your faith, your beingness, your ethics, your morals, your trajectory, your decisions, and your flow chart to what is or what is not meant for you. My goodness. I also want to note that Saturn's back here in this Wheel of Fortune. Saturn doesn't scare you. Time, Chronos, the discipline, the power. You know that it's performed in different ways, but you're not performing. You are practicing always. I'm That's not a great way to say that, but Now, you may be a performer. I don't want that to be led in the same way. It's like, because if you are a performer, an entertainer, different roles, different responsibilities, different behaviors and personalities, I get that. It's, but you're conscious, you're present in it. Even that practice feels like a practice, like it's a source in practice, spirit expressing. It's like practicing your craft, practicing when you're a part of a team and you have the games and you have practices. And while it can all be a performance for perceivers and receivers, for you, it just is. You've had to teach yourself a lot of your own things. But in this moment, as change is coming in now, the devil is coming through here with that. It's kind of like, it's kind of not a bother. It's like in some way, shape, or form. With on the bottom, we have here standing on the precipice. About the wands. Um. Oh, a ladybug just came down. Hello. Oh, you're gonna go under the scroll? Okay, you can go under the scroll. Well, you just had a ladybug pop in, so there you go. I'm gonna say it this way. What the orders that you involve yourself in, that you take, that you live out, that you practice, that you perform, the way you share, the way you receive, things are changing. And they're changing for the better through your letting go of some sort of contract that I think was either something that was taken and they tried to replace it with something else. It's like they tried to give you something lesser of value, but you know it's not yours. It's like a false thing. And you've worked really, really hard in your mental landscape, your heart landscape, and your emotional landscape, and your bodies. And it's like now you can just stand there right at it. And I want to know, even with the devil here, so beautiful, the masculine and the feminine, because they're here right in the beginning of the source of all of this as well. And I don't know if you believed it for yourself or thought it could be possible, but I dare say you're going to keep going in whatever direction that feels the most valuable to you, that has the highest quality of risk and reward or return and exchange of energy, of education, of experience. This is a quality return. And this feels like, in a fun way, some construction project that you've been working on within the self to your environment is complete. And if I had to place myself in some form of judgment against who or what, even of our own one's mirror here, I don't even know that they can, if it is to be external, let's just stay between you and I. It's like, I always knew. I always knew. And I'm so happy. It's like how they say the mirror is not going to change, right? So the person looking at it changes the reflection in the mirror. And how cool is it to change that look in the mirror, that face in the mirror, and see it smiling back, the little wink. I got you, finger guns. Was it worth it? Overall, yes. In between, there are some things that maybe you wish or wanted to be a little different. Didn't need to be so harsh or heavy or this or tacky or da 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 da. But overall, you did good. And you're going to continue to do good because you're part of the highest order. So, dare I say, good is your basement. Good is your basement. Good, great, 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 gratitude. I don't know, pick bigger words or whatever holds space for those words. Awesome. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. Thank you so, so much for being here. I will see you next Saturday for our pick a card. If you would like any sort of content in between, you can check out the House of Scrying. All the links are in the description box below. And I love you. And thank you for being you.